The roar shook the heavens. Dragons, mythical beasts of fire and fury, descended from the clouds, their eyes burning like molten gold. They had ruled the skies for millennia, unchallenged. Their word was law, but no more. From the depths of the scorched earth, a new force rose to challenge them. A symphony of roaring engines, a blaze of chrome and steel, announced their arrival. The Dragon Slayers, riding futuristic motorcycles that pulsed with raw power, met the Dragon's challenge head-on. This was not a battle for territory. It was a clash of ideologies, a fight for the very soul of the world. The dragons, clinging to their ancient reign, sought to maintain the old order. The Dragon Slayers, however, fought for a future where freedom reigned and the skies were open to all. This was a battle for the ages. The once fertile plains had transformed into a desolate wasteland. Blackened craters scarred the earth, testament to the dragon's fiery breath. The air, thick with smoke and ash, crackled with the scent of ozone and the promise of destruction. Twisted wreckage of vehicles littered the battlefield, casualties of the relentless aerial assault. Above, the dragons circled, their massive forms casting fleeting shadows on the scorched earth. Their scales, harder than any steel, shimmered like 1,000 sunsets. They were magnificent, terrifying, and utterly merciless. But the Dragon Slayers were undeterred. From their hidden bunkers, carved into the earth, they emerged, their bikes humming with a deep-seated power. Their leather jackets, adorned with the insignia of their rebellion, a snarling dragon, pierced by a flaming arrow, marked them as the defenders of a new era. The battlefield, a desolate wasteland, became a stage for conflict that would determine the fate of the world. A monstrous dragon, its scales the color of storm clouds, swooped low, its jaws agape, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. A torrent of fire, hotter than the heart of a dying star, erupted from its throat, engulfing the battlefield in a sea of flames. But the Dragon Slayers were ready. Their bikes, nimble and lightning fast, weaved through the inferno, their riders unfazed by the searing heat. With a flick of their wrists, they unleashed a barrage of laser beams, streaks of pure energy that cut through the smoke and struck the dragon's underbelly. The beast roared in pain, its fiery breath faltering. The Dragon Slayers pressed their advantage, their bikes transforming, morphing into sleek, airborne fighters. They soared through the sky, a whirlwind of metal and determination, their laser beams tearing through the air, leaving trails of shimmering light in their wake. The battle raged on, a chaotic dance of fire and fury, the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Section 4. Beasts of Myth, Machines of War. The dragons, for all their brute strength and fiery breath, were masters of the sky. They could soar through the air with unmatched grace and agility. Their scales, impervious to conventional weapons, made them seem almost invincible. But the Dragon Slayers had a few tricks up their sleeves. Their bikes, marvels of futuristic engineering, were more than just vehicles. They were weapons, each one equipped with an array of advanced weaponry. Laser cannons, plasma grenades, and energy shields. They were a force to be reckoned with. The bikes could transform, morphing from ground-based speedsters into agile aerial fighters. Their riders, clad in reinforced leather suits, were skilled warriors, masters of both machine and strategy. This wasn't just a battle of brawn against technology. It was a war of wits, a clash between the raw power of nature and the calculated brilliance of human ingenuity. Section 5. A hero falls, a legend rises. The Dragon Slayer leader, Phoenix, was a force of nature. Riding his crimson bike, he led the charge, inspiring his comrades. He fought like a demon possessed, his laser beams deadly accurate. A monstrous dragon ambushed Phoenix. The dragon's fiery breath caught Phoenix's bike, sending it spiraling. A collective gasp arose from the Dragon Slayers. From the wreckage, a figure emerged. Battered, but not broken, Phoenix stood, defiant. He had lost his bike, but his spirit remained unbroken. He drew his energy blade, ready to face the dragon's fury. A new legend was about to be born. Section 6. The dawn after the storm. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity. The sky, once a brilliant blue, turned a sickly shade of orange as the sun began to set. Exhaustion gnawed at both sides, but neither was willing to yield. Finally, as the last rays of sunlight faded from the sky, a hush fell over the battlefield. The remaining dragons, their scales scorched and their numbers depleted, retreated into the darkness, defeated but not broken. The Dragon Slayers, battered but triumphant. Watched them go, their faces grim, knowing this was not the end. The cost of victory had been high, but they had bought themselves something precious, a future free from the tyranny of the dragons. As the smoke cleared and the first stars began to appear in the night sky, the Dragon Slayers began the long task of rebuilding their world. They knew the dragons would return, but they also knew that they would be ready. The age of the Dragon Slayers had just begun,